Guys, it's Rick Pino here with Get Wisdom. In this training, I'm going to be sharing with you how anyone can make money online with digital products. In fact, this is going to be part one of an entire series that I'm going to be rolling out. So today I'm going to explain what are digital products and how they can work for you. And then moving on later on in the series, I'm going to be breaking down the exact digital products that you can make, exactly how to make them so that you can get cranking on making money online. Guys, the crazy part about all of this is that literally anyone can do this. I have students who are farmers. I have students who are seamstresses, right? Like they sew. I've got students who are stay-at-home moms. I've got students who are baristas. I've got students in all walks of life who all leverage the power of creating digital products. And so in today's training, I'm basically going to just be describing what are digital products, how they can work for you. And then again, further down the road in the series, we'll get down to the exact digital products and exactly how to make them. Guys, before we jump into the training here, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel right now if you want to continue to see more content like this from me, okay? So guys, in today's training, I'm going to be breaking down these 3 secrets on how digital products are extremely powerful, how they can work for you. In fact, the 3 things that I'm going to be teaching you in this training are, number 1, how anyone can make money online. Oops. With digital products, even if they don't know what their niche is yet. Okay? Like this is, I know a lot of people, they get trapped, they get tripped up by like, what's my niche? Who do I need to serve? Like, what would I say? What would I do? That's exactly why you need to stay plugged into this training, because I'm going to break it all down for you. Okay. So obviously knowing your niche or your niche, I call it a niche. I'm American. I'm not French, right? I don't know how to pronounce it. Niche. Okay. Knowing your niche is very important, but it's not necessarily needed in order for you to get started with digital products. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna be covering today, how anyone can make money online with digital products, even if they don't know what their niche is yet. The second thing I wanna break down for you today in this training. Number 2, I wanna break this down for you, okay? Why people would love to pay you. And I'm just gonna underline that. Why people would love to pay you for your knowledge, okay, because that's essentially what a digital product is. We'll get to that here in just a second, okay? Even if you don't think they would, or even if you think your market is saturated. The second thing that I see a lot of people when it comes to making money online with digital products, the second thing that I see holding so many people back is, number 1, what's my niche? Like, what are digital products? Will it really work for me? But the second thing here, guys, is like, most people are like, no one wants to pay me, right? Like, or what if my market's already saturated? There's so much stuff out there. You could just go to YouTube. Here's the punchline, okay? The idea that no one wants to pay you, you just made that up. Like, think about it. Everything about your future, you literally just made up. Like, it's just as easy to go, everyone's going to want to pay me for my digital product. It's just as easy to do that as it is to go, well, no one's probably going to pay me, right? And this idea that like, well, my market's saturated and why would somebody want to pay me? Because you could just go on YouTube. The punchline is this, okay? There's a ton of people out there looking for help in your niche, in your market, who don't want to spend hundreds of hours like searching through YouTube, and then over here, he says to do it this way, she says to do it that way. They say, do it like this. They say, don't do it like that, do it like this. And it's like so much mumbo jumbo about every niche and every market out there So instead of going like, that's too saturated, no one's gonna pay me, you can begin to think, wait a second, like this is a perfect example, perfect opportunity of why I need to get my stuff out there, because there's gonna be a ton of people out there who don't wanna go searching around, and they just wanna find their person, their guy, their gal, who can guide them in their specific approach and philosophy to that thing, okay? So break all limiting beliefs, okay? In fact, if you're taking notes, write this down. No limiting beliefs allowed. If you're watching right now on the training, drop this in the comments. No limiting beliefs allowed, okay? Again, everything about your future, you made it up. So stop saying like non-intelligent things like no one wants to pay me, or why would anyone want to buy from me, or what do I have to say? Like, change your language, man. If you want to start making money online, you got to get a millionaire mindset first, okay? So the first thing, how anyone can make money online with digital products, even if they don't know their niche yet. Number two, why people would love to pay you for your knowledge, even if you don't think they would, or even if you think your market is saturated. And number three, check this out, okay? Number three is this. Why selling your knowledge through digital products, that is a B, I need a D. Digital products. Why selling your knowledge through digital products, come on, you can, I'm telling y'all, it is much harder to talk and write at the same time than it looks like, okay? Why selling your knowledge through digital products is the best chance at creating generational wealth. Okay, especially, watch this, especially if you're a beginner. Okay? Why selling your knowledge through digital products is the best chance that you have at creating generational wealth, especially if you are a beginner, okay? I want you to consider something here, okay? Why are digital products so powerful? Why are they so important? Because think about this, okay? If you go and you search online, like making money online, you're gonna come up with a lot of different opportunities, like whatever, crypto or e-commerce or Airbnb or real estate or whatever in the world is out there. There's tons and tons of opportunities, but think about this. All of these people who want to teach you about crypto or teach you about Airbnb arbitrage or teach you about Amazon FBA or teach you about real estate, guess what they are selling? 100% of them who are like, yo, I can teach you how to do this. All of them are going to do it through digital products. What are digital products? Okay, digital products are educational resources like an ebook, a course, a mentorship, okay, a membership site where you create the work one time, okay? You create that ebook one time, you create that course one time, okay? And then after you do, I call it the front loading work. After you do all the front loading work of like, I'm creating this digital product one time, okay, then you put it out there to the market, and then the market pays you over and over and over again if you literally can solve people's problems with your digital products. So maybe there's a person out there. Here's a cool story. My son, last year for his birthday, I was like, yo, buddy, what do you want for your birthday? He's turning 8. And he's like, yo, I would love to go bass fishing. And I'm like, bass fishing? Okay, now I'll tell you this. I know I look like I'm like a really great fisherman, but I've only been fishing like maybe less than a dozen times in my whole life. I think it's cool. It's just not my thing necessarily, but my son wanted to go bass fishing. So guess what I did? I began to go down YouTube and exactly what I just said, like people don't want to waste all their time going over here, going over there. I'm like bass fishing and I'm like thinking like, what's the best like hooks and what's the best fishing poles and what bait do I use? Where do I go to find bass? And I'm like, after about 15 minutes of me searching around, I'm like, this is so dumb. I'm just going to buy a course. And so literally, instead of me trying to waste my time on how do I bass fish, I literally just Googled bass fishing course and I found a random bass fishing course and I paid a guy $1,000 for his bass fishing course, right? And then of course I took the course and I learned all the stuff in it. But why am I saying all this? Because the same exact thing can and will happen for you. Like, think about it. What if that guy was like, who's going to want to buy my bass fishing course? All I ever do is I just go bass fishing. No one cares. I cared, right? Like, I literally searched for a bass fishing course. Who's going to want to learn how to sell cars? All I've ever done is be a car salesman. Somebody out there is looking for someone who can show them how to be a better car salesman. Who's ever gonna learn how to homeschool their kids? Like, all I've ever done is homeschool my kids. I have students right now in my programs who are homeschool moms crushing it, making thousands of dollars because they're putting their knowledge out there into digital products. Like, it is absolutely mind-blowing when you stop limiting yourself on these false and limiting beliefs of who would want to buy from me and my market's too saturated. What would I say? What would I do? Right now, you have knowledge, you have experience, you have expertise that might come easier for you, but harder for others. That's a perfect place to start when it comes to your digital products. Okay, so as you're searching around online for like, how do I make money online? 100% of all those people online who are gonna show you the cool opportunity, the vehicle that they're actually going to use is digital products. So instead of just trying to do Airbnb or Amazon FBA or e-commerce or cryptocurrency or real estate, instead of just trying to do all these things, just go straight to the source. That's why I'm making this series right now, okay? Just go straight to the source and get straight to digital products. So guys, here's the biggest punchline that I'm trying to communicate to you, okay, in this series is selling your knowledge through digital products is the #1 best way to generate wealth online, period. It's happened for my wife and I, it's happening for my students, and it can happen for you as well. Just stay plugged into the channel here and keep following this series because I'm gonna break it all down for you, okay? Really cool, interesting story I wanna share out of the book of Luke, okay? If you're new here, I am a believer. I love Jesus. My wife and I, we live by the Bible, and 100% of all the success that we have seen in our business and in our life, in our marriage, in our family, 100% of it has all come from biblical principles. In fact, in our business, to the tune of multiple 8 figures just in the past few years alone. And a really cool story I want to share with you out of the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 8. It says it like this: the children of this world are more wise in their generation. Okay, I need at least 10 people in the comments right now. Drop these words. My generation. Okay, the children of this world are more wise in their generation than the children of light. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, so what Jesus is telling us in this story here is that there's a reason why so many people stay struggling, they stay depressed, they stay in lack, and they can't figure out this money thing. And the reason is this: because there's a number of people who are trying to make a fortune in the present through the vehicle of making a living in the past. What does that mean? Okay, it means this, okay? It's gonna be very, very hard for you to make a fortune in the present by using systems and approaches and opportunities that our parents and our grandparents used in their generation. Okay, there's a way to generate wealth in your generation. And one of those ways, I believe one of the best ways, is through digital products, okay? And so instead of you trying to figure out, I'm gonna make money by working hard at my 9 to 5 and, you know, go to school, go to college, get a job, climb the corporate ladder, work really hard for 40 years, save, invest, hopefully you did a good enough job, and then one day whenever you're like 60 or 70 years old, you might be able to retire, and then you'll be able to spend the last 15 years of your life enjoying the whole entire labor of your life. I don't know about you, but that does not sound like the best way for me and my generation to build wealth, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you through this series how to tap into digital products so that you can collapse time. That's what really this opportunity of digital products is the best opportunity for our generation, for this generation right now, to collapse time to where you don't have to wait a lifetime to finally get there in your wealth building approach, okay? So I want you to ask yourself a question. What if 2024 was the last year that you clocked in and clocked out to work for someone else? Okay, I believe that it can be. What if 2024 was the last year that you clocked in and clocked out working for someone else?
Hey, I hope you're enjoying the training. I wanted to take a few moments real quick to invite you to join me for my upcoming Create and Sell Digital Products 5-day challenge, okay? This is a 5-day live virtual event where I invite entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs just like you to come spend 5 days with me and get live training on the 5 moves that anyone can take in order to scale and skyrocket their business and their revenue. Now, the best way to join is as a VIP, because VIPs get to spend an extra hour with me every single day and ask your questions live. My most successful students have all been VIPs. That's the best way to join. Listen, you don't want to miss the upcoming Create and Sell Digital Products 5-day challenge. It's completely live. It's coming up right around the corner. Click the link down below in the description. Grab your ticket today. Now back to the training.
All right, guys, so back here to the board, let's break down these 3 things that I want to give you in this training when it comes to digital products. And again, just one more time to remind you, okay, stay plugged into this series because this first video is just going to be describing what digital products are. You're learning that a little bit now, how they work, how they can work for you, okay? But in the upcoming series, I'm literally going to break down, you can do this product, this product, this product. Here's how to do this. Here's how to do this, exactly how to do it, okay, in this series. Okay, so let's come back to the first thing that we're talking about here, and that is how anyone can make money online with digital products even if they don't know their niche yet. Okay, crazy story for you. So I have a student, okay, who came through some of my programs, and this guy, amazing dude, great friend, he's a drummer. And he was like, yo, I'm interested in getting into digital products. I don't necessarily know who I would help or how I would do it or this or that. And he said, honestly, I'm a drummer. Like, maybe I could show people how to play drums. Like, I don't know. And I said, listen, you don't even have to dial in your specific niche just yet. Just do the thing that's in your hand. Like, what's in your hand right now? And the thing that's in your hand right now is music. It's drums, right? And so what he decided to do is he said, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to create a digital product around teaching people music, right? Even though he's like, I could do this, I could do that. Maybe I should do this approach or that approach, or what niche should I choose? He just said, well, what can I do right now? I could show people about music. I can show them how to play drums. So he created a digital product around music and playing drums. And guys, in his first month, he made $135,000. Like, he hadn't even dialed in on his niche yet. Mind blowing, right? I have another student, like I said, I have farmers in the program. I have another student who literally is a farmer. And, this guy, very skilled in different ways, but he's like, man, I could serve people here. I could serve them there. Maybe I could teach farming. I said, well, what's in your hand right now? And this guy specifically was a vocal instructor many years ago. And he was like, oh, I could teach people about singing. And I'm like, okay, well, let's start with that. He created a digital product teaching people, selling his knowledge, teaching people on how to sing, right? Like, as a vocal instructor. This guy in his first month made $115,000. So here's what I'm trying to just get to you today, okay? Like, this lie that like, well, I don't know if I can make money online because I don't know what my niche would be. Like, you don't even have to have your niche dialed in yet, guys. Many people think that making money online with digital products is hard, or that you need to have a lot of tech skills. But the truth is that anyone can create money online with just their phone and their laptop. Legit, just their phone and their laptop. And that means this opportunity that are called digital products, the opportunity of digital products is perfect for someone just like you. One more story for you, okay? So a number of years ago, I'm training some of my students. I'm saying, listen, you can literally do this on your phone. It's crazy. And people are like, well, man, you have a studio and you have lights and cameras. I didn't always have a studio with lights and cameras. So what I decided to do is I decided to take my phone, okay? You're probably watching this on your phone right now, chances are, right? I decided I'm gonna take my phone, and just to show my students that this is possible, I'm gonna record a whole entire course on my phone, like with my phone. I'm just gonna buy a little $20 tripod from Best Buy, and then I'm going to set my phone on it, and I'm gonna create a whole entire course or digital product on my phone and sell it and see how it does, just to prove to my students that this is possible. Now, you're never gonna believe what happened next, okay? So I record this course, I put it all together, And then I put the course out there through our marketing system, okay? And lo and behold, like literally in 1 week, my course, I sold $400,000 worth of my course that I created on my phone. What? Like insane, right? So before you go and try to limit yourself again with these limiting beliefs, I don't have the cameras, I don't have lights, I'm not techie. You don't have to have any of that, okay? Anyone can make money online with digital products, even if they're not like super tech skilled, even if they don't have a ton of experience with online anything. And that means that literally this opportunity of digital products is perfect for someone just like you. All right, guys, so let's talk about the second thing that holds people back, why people would love to pay you. Again, I'm gonna just circle this. Let's talk about why people would love to pay you for your knowledge, even if you don't think they would, or even if you think your market is saturated, okay? So my wife, she is Cajun, and that means like she's from the border of Texas and Louisiana. And they're down there in them parts right there. I can't even do the accent right, but where she's from, okay, they make a mean gumbo. Like, I don't know if you all know what gumbo is, but it's like this stew, kind of like, you know, this soup stew dish. It's amazing. I never knew about it until I got connected to my wife's family. And my wife's Mima, who was 99 years old, she made the best gumbo you have ever had in your life. And like no one made gumbo better than Mima. And here's the crazy part, okay? Like, did Mima have like this super secret ingredient that she like pulled out of the cupboard, you know, 2 times a year to make her gumbo? That was like, what is that thing? No one's even heard of that secret ingredient, right? Did she have this super secret way of making the gumbo? Like, no, like she didn't have this secret ingredient. She didn't have this super secret way. Like what made Mima's gumbo the best gumbo in the whole entire world was her. Like, Mima was the secret sauce. Okay, so all those limiting beliefs that you're like struggling with, like, why would anyone buy anything from me? Like, no one wants to hear what I have to say. Those are false limiting beliefs. And I want you to understand that you are the secret sauce to your thing. Like, think about it. There's tons of people online talking about digital products, but you're here watching my training. Why? Because I'm the secret sauce to my stuff. You're the secret sauce to your stuff, right? Like, Mima's approach to making her gumbo is she's the secret sauce. Like, your family member who makes the best whatever dish in the world, anyone could make it like them, but what makes theirs so special? They do. So what makes your content, what makes your thing so special? You do. You are the secret sauce to your digital product, okay? I have a student right now named Jewel who struggled with this whenever she jumped into one of my programs, and she was struggling with this, like, man, because she was in the hospitality industry, and she's like, I've worked at like hotels, like, I don't know who in the world would want to hear about this. And I said, listen, you are the secret sauce. You know that you have experience in this area. It comes easy to you, but maybe harder for others. Why don't you just show people, train people through a digital product on how to do what you do in the hospitality industry? So guess what Jewel did? She went and she created her digital products. She launched it out there. And in month number 1, she made $9,500. And then month number 2, she made an extra $5,500, right? So like over $15,000 just because she was like, okay, I'm the secret sauce. And you might be sitting here going, who in the world would like want to buy a digital product around hospitality? Well, just because it's not your thing, there are tons of people out there. Again, who in the world would want to buy a course on bass fishing? Well, I didn't think about it until I thought about it, right? Like, there are tons of people out there who would love to pay you for your knowledge. And if you don't put your stuff out there in the form of digital products, they're never going to find you and you're never going to be able to do it. So get over these limiting beliefs that like, oh, no one wants to pay me. And then let's talk about the second part, the B part to this limiting belief of like, my market's too saturated, like whatever your market is, right? Like maybe your thing is cooking, right? Like, I'm a cook, like who in the world's going to want to listen to me? Like, you know, there's Gordon Ramsay's out there and whoever else are the big time cooks. Rachel Ray, I can't think of any off the top of my head, right? Why would anyone want to listen to me? Like, they can listen to Gordon Ramsay and all these other people. Well, guess what? There are thousands, tens of thousands of restaurants in this nation who Gordon Ramsay is not the chef at, right? But people love these restaurants. Why? Because just because the market is saturated, that's not a bad sign. I actually think it's a good sign, right? Because think about it. What if nobody was in your market whatsoever? That means no one cares at all about the thing that you're trying to help people do. But if the market is saturated, it means that it's a great opportunity because the market is saturated. There's a ton of activity happening in your market. That's the beauty of digital products, man. Like, for you to think these false and limiting beliefs like no one wants to buy from me, or my market's saturated, or I can't do it, they're just limiting beliefs that are holding you back. Anyone can do this with digital products, guys. So here's what I want to submit to you, okay? Many people think that no one would pay me because my market's too saturated, or who in the world would want to pay me? Boo-hoo, right? But the truth is this: people would love to pay you, especially if your market is saturated. And that means that you can use this information that I'm going to be laying out for you here in this series on making money online with digital products. That means you can use this information powerfully to design your business and your life exactly how you desire for it to be, okay? If you're taking notes, write this down. There's no strength without struggle. There's no advancement without adversity, and there is no destiny without difficulty, okay? How many of y'all know that God brought you through some stuff because he wants to bring you to some stuff? That stuff that you had to struggle through, and finally now you're on the other side and you're like, man, I made it. That's a perfect way to get started with digital products. Like, people would love to figure out, how in the world did she do it? How did he do it? Or how do you, you don't have to be like this guru with 87 years of experience. As long as you have one step ahead of the next person, you're qualified to make money online with digital products. Like, anyone can do this, guys. All right, guys, so let's go over the third part of what we're going to be covering in this entire series, and that is why selling your knowledge through digital products is the best chance. And I'm going to circle this thing, best chance, because it really is the best chance at creating generational wealth, especially if you're a beginner. Okay, crazy story for you. So my wife and I, we have these really great friends who they were just about 4 years ago, they were really struggling financially. They were working at a small church. And if you're around the church world at all, especially startup small churches, it's rough, right? And so they really desired to help people. So they're kind of volunteering their time, making a little bit of money. And just to make ends meet, the husband was driving Uber. Okay, and so the husband, the wife, and their 3 kids were living in this tiny 2-bedroom apartment, kind of working / volunteering at the church, and then driving Uber just to try to make ends meet, right? And they were struggling financially, especially here in America, right? And so they didn't know what they were going to do. They learned how to build a digital product, okay, which I believe was like a program or something. And by the way, here in just a few moments, I'm going to break down all the different digital products I'm going to do in this series so you can begin to get an idea of what we're talking about, how to move forward. And then, of course, follow this series here because I'm literally going to show you step by step how to build all of these digital products. And then maybe you can have a story just like I'm about to finish telling you this one. So this couple, they built their first digital product. They had no experience with building digital products, zero, right? They were pastors and Uber drivers just trying to make ends meet. They built a digital product, which I believe was a program, and they put the digital product out there. And in 1 hour, literally in 1 hour, within the hour that they launched this digital product, they made $100,000, a little bit over that actually, but they made $100,000 in 1 hour. If this isn't mind-blowing, I don't know what is, right? And you might be sitting here watching what? This is crazy. Oh my gosh. Listen, guys, they had made 6 figures in an hour. I have made multiple 6 figures in an hour. I've made $1 million in a day with my digital products. My students, they're making tens of thousands. I've even had a student do $700,000 in one single day. Anyone can do this. In fact, if you're taking notes, write this down. Anyone can do this. Drop it in the comments. At least 10 people in the comments right now. Anyone can do this. And if you're fired up about this opportunity to make money online with digital products, let me know in the comments and say, I'm fired up about this. Because as this series unfolds, you're going to be mind blown, man. Okay, so just like my friends who had no experience, you can do this as well. And I'm telling you this right now, guys, selling your knowledge through digital products is your best chance at creating generational wealth, especially if you're a beginner, okay? Here's what I want to submit to you, okay? Many people think that they can't make money online with digital products because they need tons of experience, they need to be a guru, right? They need to have all this experience, et cetera, but anyone can create generational wealth with the opportunity that is digital products. And that means creating digital products are your best chance at your best life. In fact, how about 10 more people in the comments right now say, this is my best chance at my best life, right? Are you beginning to see like, wow, there's a huge opportunity here and I need to figure this thing out. And thankfully you're plugged in here to the channel. I'm gonna show you exactly how to build all these digital products. All right, guys, so if you're getting this already, let me know in the comments, say, I'm getting this. We're gonna break down, okay, ebooks, right? We're gonna be breaking down audio trainings. Be looking, because in this series, guys, I'm gonna break down and show you how to build your newsletter, okay? These are all digital products. I'm gonna be breaking down, showing you how to host a webinar. Oops, webinar, there we go. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to build maybe your first or your next e-course, right? We're also gonna be covering how to do training manuals. I'll be doing a training on how to do a challenge. Okay, what is a challenge? A challenge is like a live online training, basically. We're going to be covering membership sites. Oops. Membership sites. Think about this, like a Netflix, a Spotify, right? Those companies are selling digital products that you basically get access to libraries for a monthly fee. Like, think about that. Like, you could make tons of money with membership sites, okay? I'm gonna be showing you guys how to do group coaching packages, okay? And why not, I'm also gonna show you guys how to build a high ticket program. Well, guys, there you have it. Thank you so much for joining me on this introductory video on how to make money online with digital products. Hopefully now you're getting some of those limiting beliefs broken, right? Hopefully now you're starting to see the incredible opportunity that you can begin to build generational wealth online with digital products. And hopefully you're going to stay plugged into this series where I break down exactly how to build all these digital products so that you no longer have to be a slave to the system, be in the rat race, grinding on that 9-to-5 wheel. I believe that if I can do it, you can do it. If my students can do it, you can do it. And if my friends can do it, you can do it as well. What's up, everybody? It's Pino here from Get Wisdom. Welcome back to part 2 of my online training series, how to make money online with digital products. In today's training, I'm gonna be sharing with you the exact 5-step process that anyone can take in order to generate their first or their next ebook, which is obviously a digital product, and then take that ebook and begin to make $5,000 to $10,000 every single month online. Anyone can do this, guys. There's no gatekeeping here. I'm literally going to show you exact step-by-step process, everything you need to do, how to do it, etc. in this training. So before we jump in, make sure to like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel right now if you want to continue to see more content like this from me. Let's jump right on in. All right, guys, so in the training today, I'm gonna show you exactly how to create your first or your next ebook. Before we jump in though, let's talk about this, okay? What is an ebook? Just so that you and I are clear and we're on the same page as far as like, understanding, etc. So let's talk about it here, okay? What is an ebook? So think about it, like traditional books, they are, basically training resources, right? Where you put like 10, 15, 20 chapters into 400 or 500 pages, sometimes smaller, sometimes bigger. And the beautiful thing about digital products, in our case today, in this training with ebooks, or if you follow this series, okay, ebooks, courses, mentorships, all the digital products that we're gonna be talking about specifically today, the ebook, what I love about ebooks is that you do the work one time. Like today, you're gonna take these 5 steps I'm gonna give you, you do the work one time, and then after that, there's no like overhead after that, right? There's not even really any overhead to create the actual ebook itself. With traditional books, you have to like do the print, you have to send it off to a publisher. After you get it all done, right, then you have to order physical books from the printer or the publisher. Then you have to store those books somewhere. It's a bunch of overhead and a lot of headache. With digital products, you don't have any of that overhead. You don't have any of that headache. Ebooks are basically a condensed version of a traditional book. And I would actually suggest to you, when it comes to building your ebook, creating your ebook, you don't want it to be like this huge, 1,000-page, 47-chapter ebook like a traditional book would be, right? You actually want this to be a condensed version. I like to use ebooks as a complementary next step from between my audience and myself, from graduating them from my free content into like, hey, I actually have more and I would love to exchange value with you in the form of you giving me your name and email, and I will give you my free ebook, or here in a second I'll show you can sell them as well. But I really suggest that you use ebooks to generate leads, okay? Now, before you're like, wait a second, you say I can make $5,000 to $10,000 a month with an ebook. You can, but the best way to do that is not to necessarily try to monetize on the front end, but to monetize on the back end. In fact, I say it like this: amateurs try to make money on the front, but experts know how to make money on the back, okay? So meaning with your ebook, you can sell it for whatever, $5, $7, $10, $20. Maybe if it's a larger one, $27, $47, you can sell it for that. But you know what's better is exchanging value with somebody, graduating them from your free content and saying, yo, give me your name and email, I will give you my ebook. Now you have a lead, right? And with this lead, instead of just selling to them one time, now you can sell to them over and over and over. Now you can offer them something more than just a free product. Maybe you can sell them your course. Maybe you can sell them your mentorship. Maybe you can sell them your audio training, etc. You want to get these leads onto your list, because when it comes to business, everything in business is downstream from lead generation. Okay, so an ebook is basically a condensed version of some kind of training, educational resource. It's a digital product, obviously, so there's no overhead. You don't want it to be super, super long, because just like you, just like me, if I do decide to go to the next level with somebody and graduate from their free training and kind of get into their ecosystem, and I want to give them my name and email for their ebook, I'm not going to sit there and read a 437-page digital ebook. I'm probably not. You're probably not either. But I will read a 20 or 30-page quick little read, with like 5 or 8 or 7 chapters, 10 chapters that are like, 5, 6, 7 paragraphs each in each chapter. Like I would give 3 minutes for that. But you and I both are not going to give 45 minutes to sit there and read a 1,000-page ebook. No one's going to do that. So put yourself in the shoes of your customer, of your prospect, okay? And so now that we understand that the ebook is kind of a condensed version of a training resource, you don't want it to be the size of a traditional book, because this, in my opinion, is kind of a graduating step, okay? But come back with me here to the board, because can you make money from the ebook on the front? Yes, I mean, kind of like I said, okay? Let's just call this the amateur, okay, and then the expert. Okay, so like I said, amateurs try to make money on the front. Think about this, okay? Let's say you sell your ebook, and again, here in just a moment, I'm going to give you the exact steps, but you need to understand this stuff, okay? Let's say on the front end, you sell your ebook for whatever, $20, okay? And you're like, man, that's pretty good. Like, I would love to make $20. You know what would be better than making $20 is if you can have a lead, and then because they're in your ecosystem, because they're on your mailing list, because they're on your text list, maybe you ask them for their name, email, and phone number in exchange for your free ebook, okay? Now that you have them on your list, what if you were like, yo, I actually have a course for $497? Or what if you were like, yo, here is my new group training for $997 or something like that. So would you rather, let me get my little laser out here, would you rather make, $20 on the front, like, woohoo, I sold a book, and that's cool, and I have students, and I've actually done this myself. You could sell 5, 10, 20 ebooks a day, and that's pretty nice. But what I think is better is to nurture this lead now with this exchange of value. Here's my free ebook. Thank you for your name, email, phone number, etc. Nurture them with value, continue to just bring them value, and then maybe later on you sell them a $497 course or a $997 training, etc. Think about this, like, let's just do simple math here, okay? Like, you have like a $500 course. How many ebooks are you going to actually have to sell in order to make $500? Well, you're going to have to sell a ton. But to exchange value with somebody on the front end and use your ebook as a lead magnet, right? As a stepping stone, as a graduation process. Hey, if you like my free content, you should come into my ecosystem here. Let's exchange value, your name and email, and I'll give you my ebook. Now you have a lead. Now you can actually sell them something more expensive. So can you sell your ebook? Like, I do have students who are really, really strong experts in their specific fields. And they're like, yo, I would love for my ebook to be 40 chapters, and I have a strong enough following that people would love to buy an ebook from me for whatever, 27, 37, 47 bucks. And you can do that, right? Me personally, especially if you're starting out, I would use the ebook as a lead generation. And of course, here in the series, I'm actually going to show you exactly how to use that ebook as a lead generator so that you can begin to sell even higher ticket items in your digital product repertoire. Okay, so with that being said, let's break it down and let's get to the actual steps, okay? If you're getting some value already, just drop some fire emojis in the comments. Let me know that you guys are enjoying this, okay? What's the first step in creating your ebook, okay? Step number one, this one might seem obvious, but this is where a lot of people get tripped up. You gotta choose who you wanna serve, okay? In other words, you have to pick your niche. You have to choose who you want to serve. And for a lot of people, this is like a real struggle for them because they're like, man, I don't know who I would serve. I don't know what I would do. I don't know how this would work. Here's a very, very simple way how to choose who you would like to serve, okay? Every single one of us have been through trials and tribulations, and we've been through troubles that we are on the other side of now, right? Like, God has brought us through all kinds of crazy situations, and here we are. If you're watching this training, you made it, right? You made it. Maybe you're going through a trial right now. You are going to make it. And the cool part about going through life and overcoming all these trials and obstacles is when you're on the other side, just like you, just like me, while we're going through it, we wish, like, man, I wish somebody would be able to help me with this thing. I wish somebody could help me figure this thing out. This thing is so hard. It's so difficult. I wish somebody could mentor me. I wish somebody could educate me. I wish somebody could coach me, right? So you got to start putting yourself in the shoes of somebody who is where you were 1 year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, okay? The person who you were in the past, that is going to be a wonderful, wonderful niche or a wonderful market that you can choose to serve. For instance, maybe you've gone through something traumatic, right? And now you're here on the other side and you're like, man, I learned a ton of lessons. You should put those in your ebook, right? There's a ton of people who would love to learn from you. Maybe you got fit, right? You're like, man, I used to be really out of shape and now I'm in shape, and I would love to show people how to do it, because if I could go back in time, which you can through your digital products, if I could go back in time, I would do it all different. Okay, that's how you need to start thinking. Man, I used to be a terrible baker, and now I'm really good at baking. If I could go back in time and tell my younger self exactly the 5 steps or the 7 mistakes to not do this and do it like that, that's how you got to start thinking. And when you start thinking like this, that is a wonderful place to start when it comes to choosing who you want to serve. Okay, so I need somebody in the comments right now. Drop number 1, say choose who you want to serve. Drop it in the comments, okay? I'm telling you right now, when you take notes and drop comments, even write it down, okay? You will retain the information way better than just sitting there like listening on your phone, okay? So talk back to me in the comments. Write some notes down so that you can actually retain the information at a higher level, okay? So guys, you got to choose who you want to serve. And I say it like this, and you can write this down if you're taking notes, okay? Clarity is the secret sauce. In fact, how about 10 people in the comments right now Drop these words. Clarity is the secret sauce. Okay, what does that mean? It's going to be very, very hard to serve somebody with your digital product, in our case today, with your ebook, if you're unclear on who you desire to serve. Like if you don't know who you want to serve and you're like, well, I don't know, and you haven't done the think work, okay? Think work is a massive part of this. You actually have to sit down and think, who can I serve? How can I help them? What problems can I solve for them, right? So choose who you want to serve. You got to do the think work, because if you're not clear, then it's going to be very, very hard for them to want to exchange value with you. Think about this, okay? If you try to serve everyone, you will land up serving no one. That's just how it works, okay? When it comes to business, when it comes to building your digital products, when it comes to serving people, like people are like, what do you do? If you can't tell people what you do, who you help, how you serve people in a 1 or 2 sentence, very clear way, then you have more think work to do, okay? You're not ready to start your ebook yet because you got to think through this stuff, man. You have to be very, very clear. For instance, one of the ways that I help people is I say it like this. I help entrepreneurs make money online with digital products. Like super simple, super clear. If you were to ask me, hey, what do you do? One of the things I do is I help entrepreneurs make money online with digital products. Bingo, just bing. Just like that. You've got to be super, super clear, because when you are clear, choosing who you'd like to serve, then you can begin to reverse engineer what exactly you're going to put into your ebook, and then moving forward in this series, how you're going to begin to build all your other digital products out. Okay? So guys, number 1, you got to choose who you want to serve. Get very clear on who you would like to serve. Again, the best way to start is to serve the person that you were 1 year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and take the knowledge that you have now, overcoming all the things that you've overcome, and just help people who are in the position that you once were in. Okay? Step number 2. If you're ready for number 2, drop a 2 in the comments.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying the training. I wanted to take a few moments real quick to invite you to join me for my upcoming Create and Sell Digital Products 5-day challenge, okay? This is a 5-day live virtual event where I invite entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs just like you to come spend 5 days with me and get live training on the 5 moves that anyone can take in order to scale and skyrocket their business and their revenue. Now, the best way to join is as a VIP, because VIPs get to spend an extra hour with me every single day and ask your questions live. My most successful students have all been VIPs. That's the best way to join. Listen, you don't want to miss the upcoming Create and Sell Digital Products 5-day challenge. It's completely live. It's coming up right around the corner. Click the link down below in the description. Grab your ticket today. Now back to the training.
Okay, now let's really dive in and start getting into the nitty gritty. Okay, so step number 2, here's what you want to do. You want to open your smartphone, and I know you got a smartphone, okay? You want to open your smartphone and talk to it. Okay, basically you're going to open up the recorder app on your smartphone, okay? And you're going to talk to it You're going to talk to it like you're having that conversation with your younger self. Oops. With your younger. Why did it make a triangle? With your younger self. Okay? So remember what I said, like the best way to choose who you want to serve and to get clear on who you want to serve is you are going to serve people who are where you once were in your journey. Okay? Now you've overcome some things, you got some wisdom, you got some knowledge, you got some experience. Hey, if I could go back in time, here's the things that I would like to do. So literally what you're going to do, the second step into creating your first or your next ebook, take your smartphone out, okay? Open it up to your recorder app, okay? And you're literally going to have a 10, 15, 20-minute conversation with your younger self. Hey, Rick, like if it was me, right? Rick, here are the top 5 things that you need to know when it comes to building your first round of digital products. Okay? The first thing you need to know is this. Blah, 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 blah. The second thing you need to know is this. Blah, 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 right? And just literally record that into your phone. Now, listen, if you've never recorded into your phone, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, my voice sounds so weird. Who cares? You're not going to put this specific audio out. This is just for the next steps that I'm about to show you, okay? So your voice might sound a little weird to you or might feel like, oh, I'm so self-conscious, it sounds weird. Just do it, okay? Just do it. Somebody drop it in the comments, say, just do it, okay? If you run the play that I'm giving you right now, you're gonna have your first or your next ebook like super fast, okay? So now that you've gotten clear on who you wanna serve, and hopefully it's serving people who are right now where you once were, okay? Because that's there, it could be anything, right? You could be a basketball player. You could be, I flip sneakers. You could say, I'm a seamstress. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a car salesman. I'm a barista. Whatever the thing is that you have overcome and now you're on this side of it, okay, you have some experience, you've gone through some things, open up your phone on the recorder and just say, hey, here are whatever. The top 5, I would say, here are the top 5 lessons I learned going from X to Y. Here are the 7 mistakes everyone should avoid when they're starting their journey in XYZ. Here are 10 tips for every person going from X to Y. And why do you want to put the 5 or the 3 or the 7 or the 10 tips? Because later on, those are actually going to become your chapters in your ebook. But let me not get too ahead of myself here, okay? So number 1, get clear on who you want to serve. Number 2, open your smartphone and talk to it like you're having that conversation with your younger self. Here are the top 5 things you need to know. Here are the top 7 tips, blah, blah, blah. Okay, step number 3, drop a 3 in the comments if you guys are ready for number 3. I told you I'm literally just going to give you the game right here for free, okay? Step number 3, you are going to upload that audio file to a website called otter.ai, okay? By the way, I have no affiliation with otter.ai. It's just a really great website that you can literally take the audio from your phone, okay? You're gonna upload this audio to otter.ai. It's all very self-explanatory on there, okay? I think there's a small fee to become a user of Otter, like 20 bucks a month or 40 bucks a month, something like that, but it is so worth it, okay? You're gonna sign up for your Otter account. You're gonna upload that audio file from your phone onto otter.ai. And then what Otter is going to do, Otter is literally going to take the audio that you just spoke into your phone and it's going to transcribe it for you. What is transcribe it? It's literally going to write all the words that you spoke. It's just going to write it all out for you in text form. Okay, this is crazy. So when you have that conversation, hopefully, and by the way, you don't want the conversation to be like 30 seconds, right? Like, here are 3 things that you need to know. Step number 1, do this. Step number 2, do that. Step number 3, do this. There you go, right? Because obviously that's not a ton of content. Like when I say sit down and have a conversation with yourself, like approach it like this. I am going to coach my younger self. These are the things that I wished I would have known going from where I was to where I am now, and have an actual conversation with that person. Because moving forward with your ebook, you actually are going to be having that conversation with your clients, with the people who are engaging with you, and either getting your ebook as a free resource and they come into your ecosystem and they become a lead, or people who are just like, just give me the ebook, here's the 27 bucks, thank you so much. You are going to be helping those people. So have a real conversation with them, okay? Then take that conversation. Yes, it should be more than 30 seconds. No, I don't think it should be an hour long, right? Like it should be like you're sitting down at the coffee shop. Here's a 10-minute, 12-minute, 7-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute conversation I'm gonna have with my younger self and say, look, here's exactly what you need to know. Here's exactly how to do it, okay? Take that audio conversation, that audio file on your phone, upload it to otter.ai. All the instructions are there on that site, okay? So you might be like, what? Just trust me, okay? Go to otter.ai, upload it on there. It will transcribe it for you, okay? Step number 4, somebody drop a 4 in the comments. Listen, you're about to have your first or your next ebook like this, okay? Step number 4, check this out. Step number 4, okay, you are going to take the transcription take the transcription from Otter. Okay, then you are going to upload the transcription onto ChatGPT, okay? And again, it's literally as simple as like whenever you get the transcription from Otter, depending on how long your conversation was or how big the audio file is, it could be as quick as like 3 minutes that it's instantly transcribed. Sometimes if it's longer, it could take 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If it's a super long audio file, like an hour, it could take longer, right? But you literally, whenever it's done, you're going to copy and paste that transcription into ChatGPT, okay? And then you're going to give it this prompt. Turn this transcription into an ebook. Then you're gonna say, format it into chapters. This is the prompt, okay? So literally, number 1, where's my little laser? There we go. Let's do blue this time. Number 1, choose who you want to serve. Get very clear, because if you are not clear, it's going to be hard to do business with people and to serve them. Clarity is the secret sauce. Step number 2, open your smartphone, talk to it like you're having that conversation with your younger self. Here are the 7 things I wish I would have known. Here are the 10 tips. Here are the 3 reasons to go from X to Y, etc. Then you're going to take that audio file, upload it to otter.ai. Then you're going to take the transcription from Otter, copy and paste it into ChatGPT. Give it this prompt: turn this transcription into an ebook, format it into chapters. Now, here is the craziest thing ever, okay? Literally within moments, ChatGPT is going to kick out your ebook. ChatGPT is going to kick out your ebook for you. Boom, right there. It's going to be formatted into chapters. It's going to be incredible. Now, what you can do, I tell my students this all the time, okay? What you don't want to do is just take it at face value and like copy and paste it. Well, this is exactly how it needs to be. What I would do if I were you is I would, after ChatGPT gives you, like, I call it the rough draft, right? The robot kicks it out, bing, and it's like amazing. You're like, oh my gosh, it literally took my voice, it took my information, it took my conversation, and it turned it into an ebook format. Okay, then what I like to do is not just copy and paste that into the next step and like, cool, my ebook's done. I like to take that thing that ChatGPT spit out and upload it into a Word document, and then I'm gonna actually go through and I'm gonna comb through and make sure all the language is exactly how I would say it, make sure that it didn't, misinterpret something. I'm gonna make sure and go through and edit, right? And just make sure like, okay, this is exactly how I'd like to say it. So then it's not just like this robot kicked out a photocopy of your information. It's a robot kicked out a rough draft, and then you put your fingerprint, right? You put your final touch on your own conversation, on your own information. That way, whenever you are actually putting out your ebook and you're doing the next step that I'm going to give you, it's not just this copy and pasted ChatGPT robotic, thing that's in an ebook. Because a lot of times, ChatGPT AI right now, it's still learning, and it can literally kick out robotic sayings like, "Hello, humans. Here are the 5 tips every human needs to know about blah blah blah." Make sure it doesn't like sound robot-y. Like, put your own voice in it, right? Like, change the words a little bit. Make sure you have your fingerprint on it, okay? So again, choose who you want to serve, have the conversation in your phone, upload that audio file to otter.ai, take the transcription from Otter, copy and paste it into ChatGPT, give it this prompt, turn this transcription into an ebook format, format it into chapters, okay? Then you're going to edit all that stuff. And then here's the next step. Drop a 5 in the comments if you guys are ready for step number 5, okay? Then the next step here, next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the final text final text, okay? And you are going to go to Fiverr.com. Oops. Fiverr.com. Okay, and by the way, if you don't know what Fiverr is, Fiverr, and I think it's 2 R's, I could be mistaken, but Fiverr is basically, it's a website where you can go hire freelancers. You can hire people who make ebooks. You can hire graphic designers. You can hire video editors. You can hire copywriters, people who like write marketing copy for your emails. You can hire all kinds of amazing freelancers. Okay, so step number 5, you're gonna take the final text, you're gonna go to Fiverr.com, okay? And then you are going to just search ebook creator. So literally whenever you go to Fiverr.com, you're just gonna search ebook creator. There's gonna be tons and tons and tons of options that pop up for you. And literally you just are going to start going through and just vetting them, right? You're going to say, okay, I like her stuff. I like his stuff. Ooh, his stuff doesn't look good. Her stuff is not in my style. His stuff is in my style, etc. And you're literally just going to go through all the different options. Here's what I would suggest, okay? You want to hire somebody that has really great reviews, okay? Like, don't be so poverty-minded that you're like, who's going to do this for the cheapest? Because remember this, the best is never the cheapest, and the cheapest is never the best, okay? You do get what you pay for. And think about it. Maybe they're going to charge you whatever, $50 or $75 to build an amazing ebook for you. Like, that $75 can literally generate tons and tons and tons of leads for you, or make tons and tons and tons of money for you. Like, the $50 or $75, whatever their fee is, investment is so worth it. Don't try to like skip out on like, well, this person can do it for $7, right? Like, and it looks like it was made for $7. Don't hire the cheapest, hire the best. I judge this by who has the best reviews. I go through and I look to see, okay, who has really great options on their graphic work. And honestly, like on Fiverr.com, you can literally find somebody who not only like makes your ebook for you, but they're going to do the graphic design for you. They're going to format it in the actual book itself. They can put clickable links in your ebook. Like, it's absolutely fantastic. Not everybody does all the stuff I'm saying, but that's why you have to go on Fiverr.com and you have to go check it out, okay? So guys, those are the 5 steps on how to create your first or your next ebook, okay? Get clear on who you want to serve, have the conversation on your phone, upload to otter.ai, get it transcribed, copy and paste that into ChatGPT, turn this transcription into an ebook, format it into chapters, then take the final text, go to Fiverr.com, hire you a freelancer who literally specializes in creating ebooks for people just like you. All right, now here's the cool part. When you go through all of this process, okay, now by the way, every single one of these steps, you might encounter a couple of bumps in the road, okay? If you're trying to get clear on who you want to serve, like, you might need to think about it for 1 day, 3 days, a week. Like, don't take a year to just try to decide who you want to serve. That's way too long. But, don't be shocked if you're like, I'm thinking about this for a couple days, right? That's part of this process. Second one, the conversation you need to have into your phone. Like, you might fumble the first 1 or 2 or 3 times. That's okay. That's part of the process, right? You want to have that conversation to where it's like, okay, I feel really proud about this conversation I had with my younger self, right? Here are the top 7 things I wish I would have known, blah, 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 right? All of these steps have little bumps in the road, but if you can make it past the bumps, that's what is going to like make you qualified to actually have a fantastic ebook. It's part of being an entrepreneur. It's literally a part of the process on learning how to develop these new skills, because that's really what I'm trying to teach you in this series, guys. I want to give you some new skills, not just like how to swing a hammer. That's awesome. But what if you could literally show people how to swing the hammer the right way and use the right nails, right? What if it's not just like I'm pouring the cup of coffee? Like, what if you could show people how to pour the cup of coffee in that cool latte art way, right? It's not just like I am raising the kids. It's like, here's what you need to do to raise your kids, right? Or to find the best homeschool curriculum or whatever the thing is. Like, I want you to begin to think bigger outside of the traditional box of you just doing the work, okay? And you actually coaching people on how to do the thing that comes easy to you, but maybe a little bit harder to others. So let me leave you with this thought today. Now that you know how to create your first or your next ebook, consider this as we move forward in this series on how to make money online with digital products, okay? Consider this, check this out. I always teach my students this concept called the mule versus the magician, okay? Versus, okay? Now, when I talk about magician, I'm not talking about like casting spells. I'm talking about like the person who knows the card trick so well and the sleight of hand is so good that you're like, when you watch them, you're like, oh my gosh, that's magic, right? I'm not talking about spells. I'm talking about you're so good at the thing that it looks like magic to others, okay? So what's the difference between the mule versus the magician? When it comes to making money online with digital products, okay, take the thing right now that you've actually done. Maybe it was, I was the basketball coach. I was the window cleaner. I was the barista. I was the stay-at-home mom. I was the car salesman. I was the this. I was the that, okay? You doing the work, guess which side of the equation you are on? You are the mule, okay? The mule does the actual work, okay? By the way, there's nothing wrong with doing the actual work, okay? But I'm about to show you something here, specifically with digital products, that really changes the game here, okay? So on the mule side, you're the one working super hard for the money because you're actually doing the thing. Or maybe you're not working for the money. Maybe you're like, well, I'm a stay-at-home parent. Like, I'm not even doing it for money, okay? But you're doing the work, okay? You're putting in the effort. You're getting the experience. You've been through the stuff, okay? What digital products are going to help you do is graduate, okay, to the better option here, which is the magician, because the mule side does the actual work, okay? In fact, let me say it like this. Does the actual work for money, okay? Again, if you're like a stay-at-home parent or something like that, I don't get paid, but you understand what I'm saying, okay? On the mule side, you do the actual work, okay? And a lot of times it's connected to the money, but on the magician side, oh, that's a tongue twister. On the magician side, you teach people how to do the work for money, okay? So literally on the mule side, you go from I am the one actually being the mule to graduating to the magician side. Gosh, that is a tongue twister, magician side. On the magician side, you graduate to the place of I am going to show you how to do the actual work. I'm going to show you how to pour the coffee, how to dribble the ball, how to sell the car, how to whatever the thing is that you do, okay? Because I've done it so much, I really know what I'm doing here. I've done it for a long time, and it just comes easy to me because I've done it 1,000 times, or I've done it for 20 years, or whatever it is. Don't take that lightly, okay? Don't have this limiting mindset like, well, no one wants to learn from me. We already covered that in the last session. Yes, they do want to learn from you. Yes, they would love to pay you to give them the shortcut. In fact, just today, I was checking out training on my YouTube channel, and somebody left this comment. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Rick, for not gatekeeping any of the information. You literally give us like step-by-step process. Then they went on to say this. I literally have spent hundreds of hours searching on YouTube, and it is so mind-melting because this person says to do it like that. That person says to do it like this. I don't know which way is up or down. I would rather just lock into one specific person that can just show me exactly their way to do it on how they've gotten success. And I'm so glad that I found you here, Rick, on your channel. And so like people that do that for me, they're going to do that for you as well, okay? So don't just be locked in on the mule, guys, because on the mule side, this is where you are working hard for your money, okay? Nothing wrong with working hard for your money, but you know what's better than working hard for your money? Becoming a magician, right? Doing the thing so well that people are like, how do you do that? That looks like magic. Doing it so well that now you have your money working hard for you, okay? You need to start thinking differently as you begin to build these digital products. You're no longer just the worker doing the thing, right? Now you are the coach, you are the trainer, you are the teacher, you are the educator, showing people who have the desire to do the thing that you have done in the capacity that you've done it. Now you can coach them, teach them, train them on how to do it. So no longer are you the mule, like sweating with the, the sweat of your brow that's how you're doing it. Now you're just like, ta-da, and you like do the magic trick. They're like, what? That looked like magic. Like, listen, I've done this 1,000 times. Just do this, 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 and this. Boom. And they're like, that is crazy. Can I pay you to show me how to do it like so smooth? Absolutely you can. That's the beauty of digital products, guys, okay? So there you have it, guys. Don't be a mule, be a magician, okay? 5 steps right there to create your first or your next ebook right here. I'm telling you all this. This is a game changer right here, this information. And don't forget this, okay? You can sell your ebooks, okay? But I always think that, I say it like this. Amateurs, they try to make money on the front. Experts, they are going to make money on the back, okay? So do something for your community, guys. Go through these 5 steps. Let me know down in the comments if you got some value from this training. And listen, don't forget, this is only part 2 of my ongoing series, How to Make Money Online with Digital Products, okay? In the next lesson, I'm gonna be sharing with you even more about another cool digital product that you can literally take the step-by-step process that I showed you today. I'm gonna show you exactly how to build those further digital products in this training series. Drop some fire emojis down in the comments, guys. I hope you enjoyed the training. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video in the series. What's up, everybody? It's Rick Pino here from Get Wisdom. Welcome back to part 3 of my Make Money Online series. Today, we're going to be talking all about how to make money online with webinars. What are webinars? Webinars are basically web-based seminars. So they're a webinar. And in today's training, I'm going to show you exactly the step-by-step process you need to take in order to host your first or your next extremely profitable webinar. In fact, recently I just hosted a webinar and made over 6 figures from this one single webinar. If I can do it, you can do it as well. My students are doing it. Before we jump into the training, guys, make sure to like and subscribe, hit the bell, subscribe to the channel if you want to continue to see more content like this from me, okay? Let's get into it. All right, guys, so when it comes to webinars, there are 2 main parts to the webinar, okay? Come with me here to the board and let's talk about it, okay? There are 2 main parts to the webinar. You have the intro, and I'll go over this in just a second, why the intro is so important, okay? And then the next part of the webinar, I call it the big domino, okay? So, and we're gonna talk about big domino and intro here in just a second. But guys, here's the punchline, okay? Webinars are extremely powerful. They're one of the most powerful ways that you can literally exchange value with your community, with strangers, with people who do follow you, people who don't follow you. You can exchange value with them on a very rapid pace. I always say it like this: immersion equals conversion, right? So the more immersed you can get somebody into your content, the higher the chances are that they're going to convert into your offer. Okay, now the webinar I'm going to show you how to host today, it's fantastic to provide value up front, like blow their minds with this was insane value, thank you so much. And then by the end, you can make an offer to your audience from anywhere from, a $47 thing to a $97 thing to a $497 thing to a $997 or a $1,000 thing. I've even seen webinars go all the way up to $10,000. I've sold, on my webinars, I've sold products for $3,000 or $4,000. I've been on webinars where people sold things for $5,000 at the end. So you can literally use this model that I'm about to give to you to really transform the person from just like an outside, like what's going on, to like really getting them immersed, getting them into your ecosystem, and then inviting them to go even deeper with you at the end of your webinar, okay? So why in the world are there 2 main parts to a webinar? Well, before I get into that, let me just submit this to you, okay? The number one reason that you're going to host a webinar, okay, it's probably going to mess with you a little bit here. The number one reason why you're hosting a webinar is not to teach people, okay? It's not to sell people. The primary reason why you are hosting this webinar is to break limiting beliefs in your audience's mindsets, okay? So in fact, I will tell you this. If you show up to the webinar and you're like, I'm gonna just teach my socks off and I'm gonna tell them everything I know, and then at the end when I invite them to the offer, everyone's gonna buy. That's one of the biggest recipes for disaster that you can approach hosting your webinar with, is to try to like teach the room everything you know, right? The second approach that is a recipe for disaster is to try to sell on this webinar, right? Like nobody, you or me included, nobody wants to like register for a webinar, actually make the time to show up to the webinar, and all the person is doing is like selling. Like all of us are going to jump off. That's not valuable. It's like, what? So really what you need to do is, when you are hosting your first or your next webinar, you need to approach it with the idea of, I am going to blow my audience's mind with value in the form of breaking limiting beliefs. Now, there's one thing that I have found in my business journey, both attending webinars, hosting. I've hosted hundreds of webinars, maybe thousands by this point, but tons and tons and tons of webinars that I've either been a part of or hosted myself. And I will tell you this, when you show up to serve your audience by providing value for them at an insane level, like here I'm going to show you how to do, but doing it through the form of breaking their limiting beliefs, they receive so much breakthrough, so much value, that by the time that it gets to you inviting them to participate in your offer at the end, they're like, this is so incredible. I love this. He helped me so much. She helped me so much. I absolutely need to buy their XYZ, blah, blah, blah at the end, right? And so webinars are insanely powerful if you approach them in the correct way. And again, that is to show up to serve your audience at the highest level in the form of breaking their limiting beliefs. But here's the caveat to that. We're not just going to be breaking their limiting beliefs. We are going to be breaking their limiting beliefs and then reinstilling truthful or hopeful beliefs. Because honestly, guys, at the end of the day, the biggest thing that's holding all of us back from our next level, myself included, yourself included, the biggest thing that's holding us back is not our resources, it's not our opportunities, it's not this, it's not that, it's our mindsets, okay? And whenever we can help somebody get a mindset breakthrough into a forward momentum, into the journey that they're on towards the goal that they desire to achieve, when you help them get a mindset breakthrough, it is like, in a lot of ways, it's much more valuable to the receiving person than even like, here's 47 steps how to do XYZ. Like that's cool, but if you have all the knowledge in the world, but your mindset's still broke, like think about it, like there's so much knowledge out there on the internet right now on how to do this and how to do that. All you gotta do is just Google, what are the 5 steps to whatever, become a millionaire. I've done a ton of trainings on how to become a millionaire, how to build your business, how to market, how to sell, how to create digital products, etc. And though the information's on there are still people, not just on my content, but on everybody else's content, there are still people who are like, oh, she's scamming us. Or man, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, ha ha ha. Or man, this can't be true. You can't make that much money that quick. Why? Because their mindsets are in the wrong place, right? So if you can help somebody get a mindset breakthrough, that's the main thing that you want to do in the webinar, is help them break through in the way that they think about your specific niche. Okay? If you can help them get a breakthrough in the way that they think in your specific niche, then there are going to be no problems whatsoever when you invite them at the end to participate and go deeper with you into your offer and pay you for your whatever, your course, your digital product, your mentorship, your ticket to your thing, whatever it is. People are going to be like, this was amazing. If I got this much value in an hour, I can't imagine what I'm going to get by purchasing, giving this person some money and going deeper with them to the next level of value. Okay? So if you're getting some value, drop the words, I'm getting it, in the comments. Drop some fire emojis in the comments, and let's get back to business here now that we have a little bit of context on the purpose and the approach of webinars. Okay? So like I said, guys, back to the board here, there are 2 main pieces to the webinar. And obviously there's a third piece at the end, which is your actual offer. But like I said, if you do the first 2 pieces correctly, the offer part will just fall into place pretty simply. Okay, so I'm just gonna let the offer be the given. Okay, we are hosting this webinar to serve people, to break their limiting beliefs, to instill hopeful truthful beliefs. And then whenever we invite them into our offer at the end, it's just going to flow, okay? But why is the webinar broken into two pieces? Number one, the intro, and number two, the big domino, okay? What you have to understand is on the intro, okay, the intro, and I would consider the intro like the first 5 to maybe 10 minutes of your webinar. You have to think about this, okay? Let's say you're hosting, by the way, most webinars, if not all that I've seen, they're free, right? You could do like a paid webinar, 27, 47 as an actual digital product. But if you're just trying to scale and expand your customer base, your audience, if you're just trying to like provide value to people and like get them in your ecosystem, host a free webinar, okay? And then as they jump into the free webinar, then you can invite them to purchase from you and go to the next level of value at the end. But I always suggest host your webinar for free. That way you can serve as many people as possible up front. And like I've said in past trainings, amateurs trying to monetize on the front end, experts, they are monetizing on the back end, okay? So anyways, when it comes to the intro, okay, why is the intro so insanely important when it comes to hosting your webinar? Okay, well, I'll tell you why. Because first of all, when people register for your webinar, and here's just some general statistics, okay, and this will be helpful for you as you host your first or your next webinar. The general statistics are this, okay? Usually, if you do a really good job on the follow-up, if you do a really good job on keeping people warm, getting them ready for the webinar, usually show-up rates for a webinar are anywhere from 5% on the low end to 50% on the high end, okay? So if you're like, I had 100 people register for my webinar and only 31 showed up, you're doing pretty good. Like those are pretty good numbers for a free webinar. Because think about this, if you're hosting a free webinar, just like you, just like me, we might sign up for something that was like, oh, cool, this looks interesting, and then just forget about it, right? And that's what I'm saying. If you're really, really good at follow-up, like sending those text messages, those reminders, those emails, keeping them warm, guys, here are 3 things everyone needs to do before they show up to the webinar. Like if you have this in your flow, you're gonna potentially increase your show rate by a lot, okay? But if you just like set up your funnel and then they register and you don't talk to them until like, the webinar's starting, guys, join me now. Like people are like, oh, that was right now? I'll catch the next one, right? So don't be discouraged if you get like 5 to 50% of people show up, because those are the rough numbers, okay? So with that being said, back to the intro, with that being said, okay, the reason why the intro, and this is only the first 5 to 10 minutes, is so important is because if you don't get these people to stay in the beginning, right? If you are not interesting, if you're not providing value, if you're not really knocking their socks off with crazy value or interest or curiosity in the beginning, then why in the world would they sit there and listen to you for another hour or 2? Right? So the intro is incredibly important, and I'm going to break down for you exactly how to run the intro, okay? Check this out.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying the training. I wanted to take a few moments real quick to invite you to join me for my upcoming Create and Sell Digital Products 5-day challenge, okay? This is a 5-day live virtual event where I invite entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs just like you to come spend 5 days with me and get live training on the 5 moves that anyone can take in order to scale and skyrocket their business and their revenue. Now, the best way to join is as a VIP, because VIPs get to spend an extra hour with me every single day and ask your questions live. My most successful students have all been VIPs. That's the best way to join. Listen, you don't want to miss the upcoming Create and Sell Digital Products 5-day challenge. It's completely live. It's coming up right around the corner. Click the link down below in the description. Grab your ticket today. Now back to the training.
So the first thing you're going to do, obviously, and let me just make my size here a little bit smaller here. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do, you're obviously going to welcome everybody. Guys, what's up? Welcome to the XYZ webinar. We're so excited that you're here. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you so much for joining us. In fact, let me know in the comments where you're watching from, right? Like, welcome them. Like, you're basically hosting an online event, okay? This is like this. They actually are paying you with their attention. They're paying attention. If they showed up, they're paying you with their attention. So make it worth their while. What's up, guys? We're so glad you're here. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have an amazing night together, blah, or a day or whatever time you're hosting it, right? And then immediately after the welcome, here's what I like to do. I like to hook straight to the end. What does that mean? It means, what's up everybody? Good to see you here at the XYZ webinar. We are so excited you're here. In fact, on the count of 3, let me know where you're watching from. 1, 2, 3. Wow, we got Dallas in the building. We got Chicago in the building. We got Dublin, Ireland. We got New York, blah, 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 whatever it is, right? Awesome, guys. Well, we're so glad you're here. Then hook straight to the end. Well, guys, by the end of the training today, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 secrets on why everybody can XYZ and go from where they are now to where they desire to be in the XYZ blah, blah, blah niche. Okay, why am I doing this? Because again, if somebody registered and they actually made the time and they actually showed up and they're willing to pay me with their attention for a few moments, okay, I need to give them a reason why they should stay to the end. So I'm instantly going to hook to the end by just announcing, here's why you're here, here's what you're going to learn, and by the end of the training tonight, you're going to discover blah, 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 blah. So that way, they can make up their mind, oh, this sounds pretty cool, and I would really love to learn that from them, so I should totally stick around. And that's going to give you a higher chance of them staying around instead of them just popping on like, what is this? Whatever you do, do not do this. Hey guys, we're going to get started here in a couple seconds. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys see me all right? Like maybe drop a thumbs up if you can see me. Like nobody wants to sit there and watch you think. Myself included, yourself included, right? Like the second they jump in and it's time to start, you hit the gas, baby. Let's go. Welcome, guys, blah, blah, blah. We're so excited you're here. Listen, by the end of the training tonight, I'm going to show you the blah, blah, blah on how to XYZ to XYZ in just as little as 3 simple steps. Anyone can do this, guys. If you're excited about that, drop some fire emojis in the comments. Like you want to be engaging with them, kind of like it's a live like event, right? Like you're standing on the stage, and you are in this case, you're standing on the virtual stage, but you want to like interact with them. Like if you're standing on a stage, right, you don't want to just be like, hey guys, if anyone can see me standing up here, let me know. Just wave at me if you can. Is my mic working? Like that's boring. Nobody wants to see that. When you are sitting there to be trained and to learn something new, you expect for that person to get on the stage and like, what's up everybody? And just take authority, take control of that room and be the leader that they are desiring for you to be and expecting for you to be to teach them how to do the XYZ. Okay? So first thing you're going to do, you're going to welcome them. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to hook to the end. Okay? The third thing that you want to do is, I think this one's really important. You want to establish authority, okay? Now, by the way, again, this is just the intro, okay? This is the first 5 or 10 minutes. Might take you a little bit shorter, might take you a little bit longer. All of that's fine, but make sure whatever you do that the intro is fire, okay? Because if it's not, they're going to be like, meh, and they're just going to go log off and go to something else, okay? Give them a reason why they should stay to listen to you and continue to pay you with their attention, okay? Welcome them, hook to the end. Then the third thing you want to do is you want to establish authority. Right? Because some of these people who are coming into your webinar, they have no clue who you are, and that's okay, right? Or maybe they know who you are, but they don't know what you've done or where you've been or why you have the authority to speak on the thing that you're going to be teaching them on, right? So what I like to do is I like to welcome them. I like to hook to the end. By the end of the thing, you're going to blah, blah, blah. You're going to learn this. And then I just go, hey, for those who don't know, my name is Rick Pino, and for the last XYZ years, I've been involved with XYZ. I've done this, I've done that, and it's been pretty cool. And because of all this, I'm excited to share with you tonight on blah, 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 right? So it's not like a boasting, like I'm the best in the world and I made bajillions of dollars or I have blah, blah. That's not the point. The point is, just like me, just like you, if I show up, like maybe they get hit with an ad or they see a random post or their friend reposts your link and they're like, guys, she knows what she's talking about. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to fill in the blank on your niche, right? And everyone should check out this training that he's doing, this training she's doing. If I show up and I have no clue who you are, right? You literally only have just a few moments to hook me in. So you're going to welcome, you're going to hook me to the end, and then just tell me who you are and why you are qualified to teach me the thing that I showed up to hopefully learn, right? So it's not this like boasting, I know a lot of people get into their heads like, oh, I don't want to talk about myself. And, I just want to, like, guys, get over it. It's not that deep. It doesn't have to be like a 47-minute long read your entire life story. I'm talking about just, here's why I'm qualified to talk to you about the thing I'm going to talk to you tonight. That's it, right? So welcome them, hook to the end, establish some authority, okay? And then what I like to do next is I like to make just a big promise, right? And this is not a guarantee, right? Like, I guarantee you'll be a millionaire by the end of the next 45 minutes. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about make them a big promise. For instance, I would say something like, let's go back to establish authority. For those who don't know, my name is Rick Pino. For the past XYZ years, I've been involved in this and that, and I've had a real fun time. In fact, we've been able to do XYZ, and it's been super helpful because all of that experience, we're gonna roll it all into this next 45 minutes, hour, 2 hours, however long your webinar is gonna be. We're gonna roll it all in there and do our absolute best to just cram value into this training, okay? And here's what and then now you go to the big promise. And here's what I wanted to promise to you guys, okay? After you are done going through this training, I promise you are going to get more insight on whatever, XYZ, your niche, right, than you've probably ever gotten before. And I will definitely tell you this. I promise that you're going to get more from this hour together, more from these 2 hours together than trying to spend 7, 10, 15 hours like searching around on YouTube trying to put a couple of puzzle pieces together. Everything you need is right here, okay? So stay locked in here because that's exactly what's going to happen for you during this training. So why am I doing that? Again, I'm using this intro, this first 5 to 10 minutes to lock them in and give them not just one reason, giving them many reasons to continue to listen to me, because honestly, if they don't stay listening, how in the world are you going to be able to help them, right? Like if they dip out because you're super boring, hey guys, can you hear me? Yeah, we're going to get started here in just a couple seconds, just like sitting there all awkwardly. Like don't do that, okay? Use this intro to get them fired up, give them as many reasons as possible to want to stay and listen to you and engage and actually pay attention so that they can receive that breakthrough that they didn't necessarily know. I need a breakthrough and I'm going to show for this. They didn't know that they needed it consciously, but they definitely knew and desired for it to happen subconsciously. That's why they're there. So reinforce their decision to show up. Give them a reason, give them many reasons to continue to listen to you, okay? And then the last thing I like to do in the intro is I like to pre-frame them for the upcoming opportunity, okay? So I'll say something like, welcome guys, blah, blah, blah. By the end of this thing, you're gonna yada, yada, yada. In fact, for those who don't know, my name is Rick Pino, and for the past XYZ years, I've been a part of blah, 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 blah. And here's what I wanna tell you guys. During this training, I promise you this, you're gonna learn more about XYZ than you've ever known about XYZ. And I'm telling you this, like, it is absolutely worth your time to show up. In fact, I'm gonna share 3 secrets with you that are gonna blow your mind. Secret number 3 is incredible. It's literally helped my students go from XYZ to XYZ. I'm just making all this up, right? And you don't wanna miss it, guys. And by the way, now I'm at the pre-framing them for the opportunity. By the way, what is a pre-frame? A pre-frame is a lens that you give to your audience to allow them to begin to see something through a new lens, okay? So instead of them just showing up like, what is this thing? You're actually going to put a pair of glasses on them. You're going to put a lens on them and let them know, hey, this thing is coming. Be expecting it and don't see it the way that you think you should see it. See it the way that I am pre-framing you to see it, okay? So with that being said, here's a big promise. You're going to blah, blah, blah by the end of this thing, and then pre-frame them for the opportunity. And by the way, guys, at the end of this training tonight, there's going to be an incredible opportunity for some of you guys and gals to go deeper with me and my team, if you have a team, in the next level of this training. Obviously, in the next hour, we're going to do our best to blow your minds with value, but there is so many more levels to the game when it comes to insert your niche. So there's going to be an opportunity here, okay? So be looking for that, guys. How many of you guys are excited to get started? Like that right there should be your intro. It will usually take about 5 to 10 minutes. Yes, you have to practice this. Yes, your first webinar probably will stink, right? And that's okay. Unless I have my students do this, unless you actually put in reps and host practice webinars like 10, 15, 20 times before your actual webinar. I have my students do this a lot. It is insanely helpful. Like, I'm talking about putting on an actual webinar with no one watching at all, just so you can get the reps in, right? So by the time you do your first webinar or your next webinar with the model I'm giving you, it's not your first time doing it. You've already done it 10, 15, 20 times before this. You're obviously going to be much more comfortable doing it that way, okay? If you're getting some value, drop some fire emojis in the comments, guys. I'm trying to hook y'all up. I told y'all there's no gatekeeping here, okay? So anyways, that's part A to the webinar. Part B is what I call the big domino, okay? And so in the big domino, if you remember, what did I say? The purpose of the webinar is not to teach necessarily, and obviously you're going to teach them some things. The purpose of the webinar is not to sell, and obviously you're going to sell them something. But the purpose of the webinar is to break false and limiting beliefs and instill new, hopeful, truthful beliefs. So this big domino, I would say, is their main limiting belief around whatever subject it is that you are training them on this night, okay? And again, I'm telling you, if you can just help them get a mindset breakthrough in the subject that you are trying to help them in, it will be no-brainer for them to continue to move forward into your offer at the end, okay? So that big domino there, okay, the main limiting belief, you know better, because obviously there's thousands of you watching right now, and there's millions of niches out there. There's no way I can tell you what the main domino is, but you can, right? Because if you've gone through this series on how to make money online with digital products, and you've gone through the digital products training, you've gone through the ebook training, and now you're here in the webinar training, hopefully you've done that. And if you haven't, go back and go through the series, okay? Because there's gonna be some compounding information that will serve you very, very well in this specific training that maybe you haven't captured yet from the first 2 videos in this series, okay? So go back and check them out. And in fact, I'll have the team link the series down here below, okay? But check this out. What is the main limiting belief in your niche? I don't know, because I don't know every single one of your specific niches and specific things, right? So what you're going to have to do is you are going to have to think, what's the main thing that holds most people back from getting success in XYZ subject? Now, it might be money, right? It might be a limiting belief around I can't do it, or it won't work for me, or this is a scam, or I'm too old, I'm too young, I don't have the time, like all the different limiting beliefs that people have. Think of one of the main limiting beliefs, okay? And then essentially the reason why I call it the big domino is because if you can push this big domino, this big limiting belief over, if you could just push this big limiting belief over, then all the other dominoes are just gonna go and it's all gonna fall into place. And so that way, by the end, whenever you present your offer, hey, if you would like to go deeper with me, I have a course, I have an upcoming training, I've got a seminar, I've got a mentorship, blah, 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 and it's only XYZ, right? Because you pushed the big domino over and it knocked all the other small dominoes over, you don't have to sell nearly as hard because the big domino has been knocked over anyway. And that was the main thing that was holding them back anyway. So if you can knock it over in these 3 steps, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it here in just a second, it's going to be so simple for you to sell your thing, your product, your digital product in our case, at the end of your webinar, okay? If you're ready to learn the 3 steps, let me know down in the comments, say, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, okay? So here's what you're going to do, okay? I would break this, and here's the thing. After you establish, okay, what is that big domino, or what is that main limiting belief that's holding them back from getting success in my specific area or niche, okay? Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna break this into 3 secrets. Okay? What is 3 secrets? Now, let's just say it is, let's say the big domino is, this won't work for me, okay? I'm just making all this up. Let's say the biggest limiting belief that this person has that is keeping them from being successful in your niche is, this won't work for me, okay? Well, why won't it work for them? You need to break this down into 3 steps, okay? What's step number 1, why it won't work for them? Well, maybe step number 1 is money. Well, it won't work for me because I don't have the money, right? And I'll break down what the secrets mean here in just a second. Maybe secret number 2, what's the second reason why it won't work for them? I don't have the time, right? And then what's secret number 3? Secret number 3 or reason number 3 of like why this won't work for me. Maybe the first one is money, maybe the second one is time, and then maybe the third one is their spouse, right? Me and my spouse just aren't on the same page, blah, 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 blah. So why did I call this the 3 secrets, okay? You're going to take this big domino and you're going to basically, what are the 3 prongs that hold this big domino up, okay? What are the 3 reasons of why they have this limiting belief? It won't work for me because I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, and my spouse is holding me back, or we're not on the same page, or they think stuff like this is a scam, or whatever it is, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to push this big domino down. You're going to break these limiting beliefs down by saying, guys, in the training, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 secrets on why this will work for you, even if you don't have money, even if you don't have time, and even if your spouse is holding you back, or whatever it is, right? Because what I want to do is I want to wrap the secret up into those 3 prongs of the big domino limiting belief. Because consciously and even subconsciously, they're thinking, oh man, this may not work for me, but you're going, I'm going to show you exactly how it can work for you, even if, insert, reason number 1 for their big limiting belief, even if, insert, reason number 2 for their big limiting belief, and even if, insert, reason number 3 for their big limiting belief. Why are we doing this? Because instantly you're talking to their conscious and subconscious minds of, you can do this. And honestly, you and I both know that they can, as long as they get their mindsets right, okay? And I keep saying mindsets with an S because we have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. They need to get their conscious mind set correctly, but they also need to get their subconscious mind set correctly. And if you can break down these limiting beliefs around that are holding up their big domino of why this thing won't work, if you can break this down for them, over with, baby, okay? So how are you going to present the secrets? Secret number 1, you're going to say, in today's training or whatever, in today's training, you're going to learn how to, go from where you are to where you desire to be, X, Y, Z, and then you're going to allude to the big domino without saying the big domino by saying, even if you feel like you don't have enough money, even if you feel like you don't have enough time, and even if you feel like you and your spouse are not on the same page with it, okay? So let's talk about secret number 1, okay? Secret number 1 is how anyone can get what they desire in this niche and achieve success even if they don't have money. And in fact, guys, that reminds me of a story, okay? So now you're going to tell a story around secret number 1. Like, guys, I am giving you the playbook right now, okay? Literally, I have students that pay tens of thousands of dollars for this information, and I'm just giving it all to you guys and gals for free, okay? So if you're enjoying it, let me know down in the comments if you guys are actually learning something here, okay? So guys, secret number 1, you are going to intro the secret by telling a story, okay? Then what you're going to do, after you tell the story, and by the way, that story should be a story that supports the point that you are trying to make, that even if you feel like you don't have enough money, you can get success in XYZ, okay? Because when you tell a story, it interrupts their patterns of their thinking, and it actually, it alludes to the childlikeness in each and every one of us. In fact, who is the best storyteller to get a point across? Well, his name was Jesus, right? And Jesus was an amazing storyteller. Every point that he would make it with a parable or with a story. Why? because stories are some of the best, most powerful ways to emphasize a point, okay? So you're going to reveal secret number one. This can work for you even if it feels like you don't have enough money, and here's why. Because of XYZ story. Then you're gonna just tell some story that supports your point, okay? Then after your story, you are going to break the limiting belief that is attached to quote unquote secret number one, okay? And you're gonna literally just be like, so guys, what do we learn from this story? We learned that though XYZ is happening and you feel like you don't have enough money, the truth is, and then you're going to, so you're basically going to throw stones at that limiting belief, and you're going to break that limiting belief by throwing stones at the limiting belief. And by the way, your story just emphasized why this secret is true. And after you throw stones at the limiting belief, then you're going to rebuild or install a new, hopeful, truthful belief. See guys, what do we learn from that story? We learned that a lot of people think that XYZ can't work for them because they don't have enough money, right? But the truth is, anyone can blah, 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 even if they don't have money, just like XYZ story that I just told you, right? So you break their limiting belief by throwing stones at it, and then you're going to rebuild the hopeful, truthful belief, okay? And then you're going to elaborate on the whole entire point for 5 more minutes, okay? Literally, guys, this is how you're going to break down all of the different secrets that are holding up the big domino of main limiting belief, okay? And the same thing's gonna go for secret number 2. Now, secret number 2, let's talk about this, okay? Secret number 2 is why this can work for you even if you feel like you don't have time. In fact, guys, that reminds me of another story. And then you're gonna tell a second story that reiterates why, even though they feel like they don't have enough time, this is exactly why it can work for them, right? And again, I don't know what story you're gonna tell. You have to tell your own stories. You have to find your own stories, okay? I can't make up the story for you. You guys actually have to do some work, okay? And then the same thing, you're gonna break their limiting belief. And guys, what do we learn from this story? Well, we learned that people are being held back because they think they need time to be successful in the XYZ niche, okay? But the truth is this, and again, you just threw stones at that limiting belief, but the truth is this. Rebuild their beliefs with a hopeful or truthful belief. But the truth is this. Just because you feel like you don't need time, you actually need way less time to be successful in this thing than you actually think. And then you're going to elaborate on that for 5 more minutes, okay? That's secret 1, secret 2. In between secret number 2 and secret number 3, remember back here in the intro, we pre-framed the opportunity. We just let them know, hey guys, by the way, there's an opportunity coming, okay? Now we're providing crazy value by breaking limiting beliefs and installing amazing, hopeful, truthful beliefs in all of these pillars that are holding up their main limiting belief that's holding them back from getting success, okay? In between secret 2 and secret 3, you're gonna pre-frame them again, okay? So after secret 2, you're literally gonna be like, by the way, guys, if you're just joining us, why do I say it like that? Because some people are just joining you. Some people showed up late. Other people, they've been there the whole entire time, but it doesn't matter because when I lead with, if you're just joining us, I am now talking to the conscious mind of people who are just joining us, and I am talking to the subconscious mind of people who have been joining us, who've already joined us and been there the whole time. So when I say, if you're just joining us, people who've been there the whole time, they're not gonna be like, oh, why is she saying this again? Why is he saying this again? They're just gonna be like, oh, I'm not just joining them, but I'll hear what they have to say. Like, you're talking to their subconscious mind at that point, okay? So guys, by the way, if you're just joining us, like I said, there is an incredible opportunity coming here in just a few moments. In fact, it is an opportunity to be trained at an even higher level with my team and I, if you have a team, right? Or join, start this next phase with me or whatever it is. I don't know your specific situation, obviously. but pre-frame them again and let them know an opportunity is coming. And by the way, I always call it an opportunity. I never call it an offer. I never call it a course. I never call it buy a ticket to my thing. I never do that. Why? Because I want to put them in the right state that it is an opportunity, because it is, right? It's not just like, I'm not just here trying to make money from them. I'm trying to help them in their mindset. And after their mindset gets set right, then I want to present an amazing opportunity for them to grow into the next level, which is to engage with me and purchase my thing, right? So again, when it comes to like selling all this stuff, if you emphasize their life getting better, okay, by engaging with you in your offer and paying you, then the byproduct is your life gets better. But you have to keep their best interest in mind. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to keep their best interest in mind by saying, listen, you need this, okay? I've already learned this. I've already been through this. I've already gone through this. I've already learned the lessons, and it took me years to learn it. You can literally learn it by buying the $47 ticket to the thing. You can literally learn it by investing the $100 to get the thing, right? So my intent is their best interest in mind, because I already know this information. Whether they buy or not, my life doesn't get any better. My life doesn't change much, right? It gets a little bit better if people buy, but my life doesn't change much because I already know this stuff, right? Their life gets way better if they grow and engage on this opportunity to the next level, okay? Drop some fire emojis in the comments if y'all are getting this. In fact, let me know down in the comments if you guys are going to run this play. In fact, drop these words down in the comments. Say, run the play, run the play, run the play. If you guys are gonna go take this information and go run the play, you can make money online, okay? Anyways, and then you're gonna go to secret number 3 and do it exactly like I just showed you how to put out secret number 1, secret number 2. You'll tell your story, okay? You'll break the false or limiting beliefs by throwing stones at it, okay? You'll rebuild with a hopeful, truthful belief, and then you'll elaborate on the point for 5 more minutes. Now, here's the time frame of everything, okay? Remember, I said intro is 5 to 10 minutes. After you get pretty good, this can easily take 7 minutes, 10 minutes, okay? And then this right here is gonna take 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, because again, just getting all this done, telling a story, getting all this part done, that's like 5 minutes, right? Maybe 7 minutes, 10 minutes, and then elaborating the point for another 5. You're already, just for the intro and point number 1 or secret number 1, you're already 20 minutes in, right? And then you add this one, and now you're 30 or 40 minutes in, right? And then you add a quick little 3-minute pre-frame, and then you do the end right here, you're at about an hour, okay? If you do all of this correctly, and you get really, really good at all this, this whole choreography, because that's really what it is, it'll take you about an hour, okay? And then here's what I like to do. After I do the secret number 3 and break that last limiting belief.
If you've made it this far into the training and you're enjoying it and you still haven't checked out my upcoming 5-day live virtual challenge, Create and Sell Digital Products, what is you doing? Check out this testimony right here of one of my current students. He took the information that I'm going to be sharing with you in the upcoming 5-day training to make $15,000 in one single week. Click the link down below, join as a VIP. We'll see you in the challenge. Now, back to the training.
I'll make the offer. Well, guys, there you have it. Those 3 secrets, blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing. Like I've been saying, there is an incredible opportunity coming up. Would it be okay with you guys? And I always ask for permission, okay? Would it be okay with you guys? Let me know in the comments. Would it be okay with you? By the way, I'm acting, okay? I'm reenacting how this should go for you. By the way, guys, if you're here in the webinar tonight, let me know down in the comments if it would be okay with you if I actually shared the opportunity with you. Is anybody here excited about the opportunity? How many of you guys and gals would like to hear about the opportunity? Let me know in the comments, and then legitimately take a few moments and see what they say. Everybody is going to say yes. If you do all of this right, they're all gonna be like, yes, of course we wanna hear about it. Like, what is it? And then after they go, yes, please tell us about the opportunity, make your offer. Well, guys, I'm excited to let you know we have a brand new course on XYZ on how to go from where you are to where you desire to be. Here's what's in the course. Here's why the course is amazing. And here's what the course costs. It's a very small investment of only XYZ. In fact, we're dropping the link in the chat right now. And by the way, all of this to say, I'm assuming that you're hosting this webinar over Zoom, okay? There's a bunch of other softwares out there that you could do it on. I just think Zoom is really great. You can have a few people on a Zoom call. You can have hundreds, you can have thousands. I've literally hosted webinars with tens of thousands of people in them, and Zoom is okay. You just need to have the right level, and Zoom works for whatever level you're at. Okay, so you break that domino, or you push that domino down, you break those limiting beliefs, right? They're pre-framed, then you ask them the permission to give the offer. And then here's kind of like a caveat, maybe B part to all of this. And this is where it could be, remember in the beginning, I said it might take 1 to 2 hours. All of this here could take about an hour if you do it correctly, 45 minutes to an hour, okay? And then if you would like to, you could add a whole other section of Q&A if you so desire to, okay? And what I like to do is sometimes I will stay on and I'll answer questions for the audience and tie all of the answers to their question back to the offer. Hey, Rick, how do you do blah, blah, blah? Well, the short answer is all you got to do is this, this, and this. And to be honest with you, we go way in depth in the course, or we're going to go way in depth in the upcoming training. And that's why you should buy a ticket, okay? Who's next? Sally, come on in. Hi, Rick, my question is blah, blah, blah. How do I do this? Well, what I would do is blah, 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 give them the answer. And honestly, Sally, again, like I just told Robert, who is on here, we're going to be going over all of this in the upcoming blah, blah, blah. Or you can learn more about this in the upcoming training, or you can get even more in-depth answers to this in the course. Okay, who's next? And so you can literally take that last hour, answer questions, and then point everybody back to the offer. If I'm going to stay on with a Q&A, I'm going to obviously continue to provide value to the audience by delivering amazing answers to their questions, but I'm also going to use that section to reinforce why they should grow to the next level and take me up on my offer. Guys, I want to see one more time how many of y'all are going to run this play. Again, 10 more people in the comments right now say run the play, run the play, run the play. Okay, guys, this model right here on how to host this webinar is one of the most powerful things that you can do when it comes to serving your community, blowing their minds with value, helping them get those mindset breakthroughs that they need to continue to move forward towards the success that they desire in your niche. And if you use this model, it's going to work absolutely fantastic. Now, here's the thing. Let me just throw this out there. You probably need to practice this a couple times, okay? I know I mentioned it before, but the more you practice this, the better you're going to get at it and the stronger it will work for you, okay? Guys, there you have it. Thank you so much for joining me for part 3 in my Make Money Online series. Get ready for part 4 because it's coming up next. If you haven't already, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel right now if you have the desire to continue to see more content like this from me. And guys, share this information with somebody who you know would get a ton of value out of it. Because as you can see here, like I'm literally just giving all the information to you for free. I'm not gatekeeping anything. My desire on this channel, guys, is just to bring you as absolute much value as humanly possible, okay? So thank you so much for joining me. Stay tuned for part number 4 in my Make Money Online series, and we'll see y'all in the next training.